Welcome to Rise and Shine Daily Business Tech Boost with me, Charly Leetham. If you're a small business owner looking to simplify technology and get real, actionable advice from someone with 35 years of IT experience, you're in the right place. Every episode, I'll dive into tools and systems like email, CRM, marketing and tracking, and break them down into bite-sized tips you can use right away. Your time is valuable, so let's get straight to the point. It's time to work smarter, not harder. Rise and shine, it's your daily dose of business tech inspiration with me, Charly Leetham. Topic number 364, we're going to talk about how to secure your business's e-commerce transactions. Now, I know I've done this one before or similar to it. It always bears redoing and reiterating some of these things, because as you go on and your business grows and you think, oh, now it's time to do that, sometimes you forget all the little things that need to be done. And payment transactions is really important. Making sure they're secure is incredibly important, mostly to protect yourself and also to protect your customer. Protect yourself because if you use a payment if you transact payments incorrectly, you are opening yourself up to litigation and to fines and all the things that go along with that. And you are also putting your own customers' data at risk, your own customers' payment details at risk. So it's really important that you get your e-commerce transactions secured and secured correctly. The first thing I'm going to say is make sure you are using a PCI compliant gateway. PCI, Payment Card Industry. You'll also see that set as PCI DSS, Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. It's a whole heap of standards that go together to protect not only the merchant, but also the customer, and there's a whole heap of requirements that you need to have in terms of your infrastructure, security certificates, processes, procedures, all of those things that go into making you PCI compliant. As standard individuals, as businesses, it is unlikely as a small business that we are going to want to even start to touch that as a process, as becoming compliant, mostly because it takes a lot of time and we need to make sure that we have all of the infrastructure in place to do it. Much easier to outsource that and outsource the risk associated with it to another person, to another company. So make sure you're using a PCI compliant gateway. Stripe, Square, as much as I hate to say it, PayPal, eWay. There's a couple of others. eWay is an Australian credit card processor. There's a couple of others. Your banks, even your banks, touch wood, will have PCI compliant gateways. And yeah, sometimes you can go to your bank and say, I need a merchant facility. And they go, yep, we've got a merchant facility, and you can just connect your shopping cart into our gateway. But make sure they are PCI compliant. Don't try and do it yourself. That's my biggest takeaway from all of this. Don't try and do it yourself. Make sure that you have SSL certificates on your website. Make sure that your site is secured by SSL. So what I mean by that is when you go and you look at the address bar at the top, it says https:// and the little padlock just to the left of it is actually filled in. Hopefully, if it shows colors, it should be green and not red. So make sure you've got an SSL certificate. Make sure that your website is secured with that. Now, what that does is that creates a secure tunnel between your website and your client's PC. The data that flows in that tunnel is secured in that tunnel is encrypted. So if someone is snooping the line, and you'll hear I say this a lot when we're talking about the risks of transacting online, is that someone actually gets access to the internet and can actually start to snoop and sniff on the line that you're in that data stream between your client's PC and your website. because it's encrypted, it's a lot more difficult for them to get in and actually find the information they're looking for. The other thing that's going to do, that's why it's important, but what that does is that says to your client that they can have a high degree of confidence that your website is done properly, that their data is secure. The final thing that you need to do is monitor for fraudulent activity. So I've really sort of condensed this episode right down. Monitor for fraudulent activity. Do regular reviews on your transactions on the gateway. We'll go in, look at your reports once a month, once a quarter, once every 6 months. Look at the transactions and make sure that they look right. It's easier to find fraudulent transactions when you don't have a high number of transactions, of course. So, you'll see something come through. I always have my transactions emailed to me. So when someone makes a payment, I get notice saying that this person has made the payment or this payment has been received, and I'll look at it and go, oh, who was that? That doesn't look right. And I can go and look at it. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's that client. But when you've got a high number of transactions occurring, getting that email in every time a transaction occurs, that might be overwhelming, and it certainly would be unproductive. You do need to go in and look at those transactions on a regular basis and look for what may or may not be fraudulent, and see what needs to be done to protect yourself from that kind of transaction. A lot of these gateways also provide an add-on service for fraud protection, and if you've got that many transactions going through, it could well be worthwhile paying to get that level of fraud detection so that they are monitoring it for you as well as you monitoring it. When you come down to this, never assume that someone else is going to do it better than you can. You need to monitor it yourself as well. So, things with your business e-commerce transactions: make sure you use a PCI compliant gateway. Make sure that just hands that all off to them. Make sure you've got SSL enabled and in use on your website and that it is actually working. And make sure you are monitoring your transactions to ensure you know what is going through your e-commerce payments. Okay, guys, what have I missed? What did you want to know more about? What didn't you want to hear more about? Leave comments wherever you are watching or listening to this video. You can send me a DM on any of our social media channels. You can come and join our locals community, askcharlyleetham.locals.com. You can join the conversation there. If you can remember to like this video, I would really appreciate it. Ring the notification, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell. Tomorrow we are going to be talking about CDNs, content delivery networks, and why they're important, how they can help secure your website just a little bit further as well. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hey there, thanks so much for tuning in to Rise and Shine, your daily business tech boost. I hope today's episode gave you some actionable insights that will make your business tech work smarter for you. If you found value, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with other small business owners who could use a daily boost. For more tips, tools, and resources, visit www.askcharlyleetham.com. Until next time, keep rising, keep shining, and let's make tech simple together.